50, 45, there goes Davis. Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Back at it again. Welcome in, everyone, to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 656. Today is Friday, April 24th. The year is 2026. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, kid, we got a great episode. We're gonna talk NFL draft recap 1. Night 2 is about to go off in about 2 hours. We got the NBA, NHL playoffs. I'll tell you this: the NBA playoffs have been brutal to me, just because I'm a Knicks fan. But NHL playoffs has been electric so far.
Yeah. Absolutely electric, bro. You can't get enough of that. The one sport you're guaranteed to almost go 7 about every series.
I fucking love it. It's intensity. It's physical. The refs let the boys play. Really appreciate it. We're also halfway through the season already. We are on to week 5 of the UFL. First game kicks off in about 2 hours, so we'll touch that one first. And we'll touch the weekend. We'll start off the weekend with NBA playoffs. There's 4 games on Saturday, 3 games for the NHL, and then there's a 15 full slate on in the Diamond, 15 games for baseball. We'll touch that kid as well. What happened?
Uh-oh. All right, we go. We're loaded up. There we go.
It's that South Carolina fucking Wi-Fi.
I've been here talking to the people.
All right, kid, let's get to it. Obviously, last night, number 1 pick, and obviously it was Fernando Mendoza. So that was good. And then it all started. The draft started at 2.
Did you see them do that retake, the Twitter and the internet streams? Obviously, we're going a lot earlier than the TV streams, but also they made Fernando reshoot it with the hats and then without the hats. It was very unnatural.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they made him reshoot him getting his name called on the selection.
They knew it. The grandpa, the dad, they all had the Raider hat on. It was fire.
And shout out mom, she deserves it above all, and he did the right thing by staying with the family and staying there for her.
100%. You got to give all the glory to God. I love all the people being religious. They said everyone who was there, got to give it to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I was like, hey, I love it. I didn't see a lot of that previous year, so I'm glad God is in people's life. I will say that. Right. David Bailey, though, I'll say this. Ant wanted Arvell Reese, former Jet fan. He might be former Jet fan. At this rate. I slept on it.
Pro ready.
He's the more NFL ready. You could plug him in. He's 2 years younger. The problem is, where are you going to put Arvell Reese? Inside? You probably put him on the edge. I don't think you put him as a will linebacker. I know that's what John Harbaugh said, that they're going to put Arvell in inside linebacker. And at that point, my question is, then why didn't you just draft Sonny Styles, who's a true inside linebacker? That doesn't make fucking sense. So interested to see how they're going to play Arvell Reese. But to your point, more NFL ready. He's 2 years younger. He had 14 and a half sacks last year. We need to get after the quarterback. We really do. We needed to replace Jermaine Johnson as well. So I like the pick. I slept on it. I like it.
You get to the quarterback, you may be able to force a turnover, which you guys lack. And I thought, Caleb Downs will go at 2. And I thought he slipped where he shouldn't have. I thought he was highly regarded one of the better defensive players in this draft. But like you said, David Bailey, pro ready. He's ready to go in the NFL downs. It's also a name you could sell if you're the Jets. You got a guy you hope that could stay there for a decade and be, Jets defense first, right? So you get that guy in the building, and you just hope it starts going on from here. You see improvement from the draft, that they have a lot of picks in the 2nd and 3rd round, and you just hope that the David Bailey and the other receivers they got help towards that.
100%. So I liked it. And then it was weird because, the Cardinals, they sign Tyler Algier in the offseason, and then they draft Jeremiah Love. I get it. Jeremiah Love is better than Tyler Algier, But my question is, you don't have a good offensive line. I feel bad for Jeremiah Love, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna, have to go to his moniker protecting the football. He hasn't fumbled in his college career. Let's see if that carries over into the pro career. I saw him going through. He got that right on the number. I thought teams would move up to get him because of the talent. But you look what the Seahawks did in the 32nd pick. They picked Jadavian Price. So you look at, Jeremiah Love's career, he's been handcuffed. He's had people sub in and out for him so he can get a little rest. And it's how Algier, that's what he's done in Atlanta his whole career is be that handcuffed to Bijan Robinson and whoever I think was there the year prior to his draft. So yeah, I think it's good, but yeah, you got to address the line for the Cardinals. I know as a Seahawks fan, we are loving what the Chiefs, what the Rams, what the 49ers, and what the Cardinals are doing. We're kind of laughing at what's going on.
Would you have drafted Jeremiah Love at 3?
Yeah. I think
Really?
He's a good offensive weapon. Like I said, I think the saving grace is that he won't turn the ball over on you. So you need a bell cow, and a lot of these teams could look for an undervalued position. That's in my opinion. I don't look at the safeties or the running backs as undervalued. As overvalued. I think they're undervalued. You go. That's why I had what's his name, Caleb Downs going 2, because you get Fernando Mendoza, who's the quarterback of the offense, and if you don't have a really set middle linebacker, Mike linebacker, the real mind of the defense is coming from the safety position. And I think Caleb Downs is that guy. So yeah, you just try to safely protect whoever you got there at quarterback for Arizona by getting a Jeremiah Love.
And then I think a shock at 4 was Cardell Tate. I thought, Bobby Salah was going to go defense, but Brian Dable said, no, give me Cardell Tate out of Ohio State.
What does that say to you?
That says they're going to fucking move the ball on offense.
I say that they were going after Jeremiah Love, and they got that pick. That's why I said that whoever was going to 3 was taking Jeremiah Love. And if they didn't, I think the Titans were going to take him over Cardell Tate. But you had to get a little weapon for Cam Ward. You had nothing last year at all. So
and Brian Dable is on record for saying if he would have he wanted Cam Ward. He really liked him.
Yeah,
we'll see what Brian Dable is able to do with Cam Ward. But this is a good weapon. And I like Cardell Tate and cash that for Elvis, first receiver off the board, -140. Cardell Tate.
I think the 4 guys that were drafted first actually were the most pro ready. I think Fernando Rose, you can plug and play at quarterback. David Bailey, like you said, on the edge position for the Jets. Jeremiah Love will be a day run starting running back. And then Cardell Tate, we saw him as the most pro ready wide receiver. So he's going to be a number 1 on the Titans.
And then Arvell Reese falls to 5. He goes to the Giants. And, it was very interesting. I was like, well, you got to take him. He was the best defensive player on the board at that moment. And they needed defense that especially from last year. But then John Harbaugh came out this morning in this press conference and said, he's going to play a lot of will. He's going to play inside linebacker. And I guess maybe I watched every Ohio State game. He didn't play a lot of inside linebacker. That was Sonny Styles, and it was very confusing. Maybe he'll learn it, but very, very odd, the comments from John Harbaugh, I thought.
Just to maybe get him coached up. Like, I think there are absolutely techniques you can teach on the defensive, offensive line to get to the quarterback or protect the quarterback. But I think by him saying that he wants to have him drop back in coverage, you can also, coach him up there and get him, comfortable if he does have to do that type of hybrid packaging where he's not just, bull rushing, where he's actually being a playmaker. I think that's what they're hoping, that the athleticism Arvell Reese possesses and is just raw, untapped potential. Like we said, there's a lot of ceiling for the guy as opposed to being a pro-ready David Bailey. We might know what the product we're getting with a David Bailey. We have yet to see really who the true Arvell Reese is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And then back to back goes they trade up. They trade from 9 to 6. Chiefs get their guy, Mansour Delane.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was going to be there, but they said, you know what? We're not going to take any chance. We're going to get our guy. They lose their guy into free agency to and they needed it. They need their guy. They need a corner, and this was the best corner in the draft. He could play zone. He could play man. He's long.
Can he press? He could press too. LSU,
big guy.
Play a lot. Yeah, dude. So, I mean,
he
good
was
for the
a
Chiefs. I saw the offensive line protect Patrick Mahomes after the injury. That's something you don't want if you're a Kansas City fan. And then, like you said, you need to address the secondary because they, as much as they're able to score points, they were not able to stop the nosebleed.
No, they weren't. And then I thought a great pick by the Redskins going and get Sonny Styles, who just fell to 7. You get a linebacker with Bobby Wagner. You get Dan Quinn, a good defensive mind head coach. I think this is
an all-pro.
This is a perfect spot for Sonny Styles.
Look what Dan Quinn's done to all the middle linebackers throughout his coaching career. He's made them to all-pro linebackers. Sonny Styles has that ability, and now you're just going to have the brain behind the bronze with him. Like I said, an absolute psychopath who's going to be smart and intellectual back there. He's going to be sideline to sideline, Sonny Styles.
And you talked about most NFL ready. Sonny Styles is NFL ready as well.
I believe so. Yeah. And then he's just going to be that much more with that defense. And he's got a good D line in front of him. So let's see the Commanders kind of build off of a down year when they had a hot one when they had the rookie year for what's his name?
Jaden Daniels.
Thank you. I was going to say Jason Tatum.
Not yet.
He got injured. He's back. But
what was I going to say? You just saw the emotion from Jordan Tyson, who got picked 8th next, and great. I think it's a great landing spot, honestly, in New Orleans. You get a head coach in what's his name? Kellen Moore. You get the quarterback as well, who
Chuck.
I thought was out. It was Shuck. Yeah,
maybe
Tyler Shuck.
Won Rookie of the Year. He didn't win Rookie of the Year offensive, did he?
No, he should have. The guy from Carolina won, the wide receiver.
Oh yeah, Ted
McMillan. Yeah, and it's a good and I like what the Saints are doing in the offseason. They signed Travis Etienne as well. You get your running back, you go get yourself a wide receiver to pair up with Chris Olave. This offense is going to start humming eventually.
Yeah, so you're saying they still have Alvin Kamara too, right? Do they still have Tyson Hill?
They're both washed.
yeah. They longest tenure players on any team in the NFL though.
And also Cameron Jordan too on the defensive side.
True. Yo, shout out. That's right, Cam Jordan.
He's a legend. And then I was watching the draft with Elvis, and we thought they were gonna go defense. We thought they were gonna go maybe Ruben Bain or someone, but Cleveland goes and gets an offensive tackle. But
and
boy, Spencer Fanu.
Out of all of them, and I think they had Maui Goa ranked higher, maybe, with Freeling and Proctor being bigger guys, maybe they'd be higher ranked. Like I said, coming out of Utah, they're in the Big Ten now, right? And they're facing all the competition they can. I think there's still some question marks there, especially, like I said, where you're going to play Fano. He may have the size to play tackle, but I don't think he's played there all too much. I think they moved him around throughout his years in Utah.
Yeah, he's going to have to play, I think, left tackle they were talking about. So we'll see where they move him, but were you surprised the Giants went Francis Mongoa at 10?
Well, just to protect Jackson Dar. I thought that they were going to go offensive weapons. And then people were saying that, hey, you had Caleb Downs right there. You could have locked up Arvell Reese with one of the higher ceilings. And then you had a pro-ready safety who could have stopped the defense. And above all,
but they need to protect Dart. He got hurt 3 times last year.
Yeah, he got hurt nonstop too, and they got to make sure he's getting out of tackles, getting away from contact as much as possible. Maui Goa can do that. I also heard that their head trainer came from Miami, and they said not to worry about that. But the concern for everybody and all the fans was, why not take Downs? Because you let the Cowboys take him thereafter.
Oh, I think Cowboys hit a fucking home run with Caleb Downs, an absolute home run. Caleb Downs he was arguably the best defensive player in the country last year. He's the best safety, another guy that's NFL ready right now.
I said he was a 2 pick, bro. Like, that's how highly rated I had him, and he slipped to 11. The Cowboys stole one in that.
Did you watch, or maybe you weren't watching, or maybe you saw the clip of Malik Neighbors? He was watching the draft.
Yeah, he was like, no, that thing is
in Dallas. Yeah. He goes, I played against him. He is like that. And he goes, now he's in Dallas. It's just like he couldn't get away from him.
Yeah. I've seen him twice a year, no matter what.
It's just like the Giants just like you could have robbed the Cowboys of getting someone good to not hurt you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Minka Parsons was like, nah, that boy is like that. And any scout, anybody over who was watching college football last year, Caleb Downs is a fucking beast. So, yeah, that was an absolute home run by the Cowboys. Caden Proctor, you gotta protect Patrick Willis or what's his name? Is it Patrick?
Malik Willis.
Patrick Willis. Shout out Patrick Willis. He was a linebacker.
That's who the Sonny Styles comparison was, and I think when they were
Yes.
talking about Bobby Salah passing up on him, they're like, "Man, you had a Patrick Willis right there for the taking."
Yeah. What'd you think of Ty Simpson? It was, what I think of it. I think it's a risky bet. They're betting on
overrid McVay.
Well, I saw the video, and pictures say 1,000 words, but it didn't look like McVay was. It didn't look like it was his pick.
No, it did not.
But they're banking on the future. But my thing is, they're a team that could win now, right?
Yeah,
I think
100%.
you and I could agree with that. They're in the position to win now. How does Ty Simpson tie into that? He doesn't, right?
No.
So
Not at all.
My question is, it's a risky bet to say, in case Matthew Stafford comes in, we are banking on a rookie. And I get it. The tape is good. Only 1 year starter worries me a little bit, but the tape is good. Two things could be true.
And you played tough competition in Bama, right? So, I mean, he's seen it. He's going to see a lot of the players that are coming through the draft that are pro ready. So I'm sure the speed will be fine for him, but it's just about, being coached up with McVay and then also competing for a job with Stidham, right? So it's going to be behind Stafford and what he's going to be able to pass on to the next. But do you really want Stafford focused on developing the next quarterbacks when you have a Super Bowl to win for him? No. So I think you're right. McVay was very stressed out of the situation. I think Les Snead overrid him. And you could have probably got Ty Simpson in the second round or traded back in the later first like the Jets did to get their guy. So who's to say the Rams didn't have the capital to do that? They didn't have to reach. I think it was a reach for Ty Simpson. They could have probably let him fall to them.
I also think a lot of people were high on Ty Simpson and were quiet about it because no one heard anything, or maybe we're not insiders, but no, we didn't really hear a lot of teams that were like, wow, Ty Simpson. We said maybe early today, like early second round pick, but not top
Who really
15.
was it? Like also it was like the Cardinals. It was like
the Jets, the Pittsburgh Steelers, like teams that needed a quarterback.
Yeah, not with MVP.
And now we saw reports today. Adam Schefter came out and said that the Rams and Stafford are working on a multi-year extension. What?
Wow. All over the place.
I don't know. It's a risky bet. We'll see if it all pans out.
You don't have everyone on the same page. That's what you can kind of trust with Seattle. Honestly, the Seahawks with John Schneider and Mike McDonald at the helm, they're on the same page.
Ruben Bain stays home. He goes to Tampa at 15. That's a very good pick as well. Him being able to I love the confidence too. When he came up, he was like, "Nah, I'm the best." I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's what I need on my team."
Yeah, I thought him going in the top 10 that was a great pick by the Bucs, letting him slip to them.
Yeah, and we get our boy, best tight end in the draft, my boy out of Oregon, Sadiq.
I don't know if he's just a tight end. I think Bro could play right out.
Bro, he plays the slot. I want to read you some numbers, right?
Yeah.
He's 6'3". He's the same height as Julio Jones. His 40 time was a 4.39. It's the same as Jonathan Taylor. Miles per hour, like when he's running, same 23.5 miles per hour, the same speed as Jahmyr Gibbs.
Whoa.
His vert, 43.5. That's 0.5 higher than Vince Carter's vert. His broad jump, 11.5. That's a half longer than Andre Johnson. The guy's a freak.
Yo, it's like looking back and you see maybe a lot of Johnny Manziel's success came from having a stud wide receiver and Mike Evans throughout his career. And you look at Fernando Mendoza and we're giving him a lot of credit, but to have an Omar Cooper as well on the opposite side here, Geno Smith might throw for 5,000 yards this year.
I fucking can't wait.
22 touchdowns, 22 interceptions, but 5,000 yards.
I slept on it, and he needs to keep the weight down a little bit, but he was the number 1 overall tight end on everyone's board. He was the 11th ranked position player. Getting him at 16, I know we just drafted Mason Taylor, but Mason Taylor's not a deep threat. We could run a 2 tight end set at this point right now.
You have to check down Taylor, and you have.
But he is a deep threat.
Yeah,
he is athletic. He is fast. He's not the best run blocker, but that's why you have Mason Taylor. But in pass, you go and put Sadiq in. The guy is a deep threat. He's athletic. He's fast. He could break tackles. You could put him in the slot.
Who was the quarterback for the Ducks, the Oregon Ducks? And he was highly touted, but said he's going back to college. And the Jets were looking at him. You know what I'm talking about, the quarterback for the Oregon Ducks. Just to my point, maybe if you look
Dante Moore.
Dante Moore, you look at a lot of his targets, they're going to Sadiq a lot. So just like to my point, these wide receivers help their quarterbacks in college.
Dante Moore, and then Dylan Raiola transferred, and now he's the backup. Fucking clown. Anyway, but no, I liked it. I was confused at first. I thought they were gonna go wide receiver, get Lemon or Amari Cooper, but I was like, okay. I actually like it.
Maybe a little makeup on missing Bowers because they didn't expect him to be as good as he is, and you had a chance to take it and miss that.
The kid's gonna be good, bro. I really believe it.
As good, man.
I really believe he's gonna be good. Lemon, the best GM in the fucking league. Howie Rose, he just trades up, gets his boy Lemon, and at the end of the day, you know what that means?
Goodbye, AJ Brown.
Goodbye, AJ Brown. He's gone.
You're a Patriot. Yo, but shout out you, bro. You know, you and I both had 4 correct selections through our draft. Elvis, not so much. I like where his mindset was at throughout all his picks, but you did win it. We were doing like who would wind up winning the draft and who had the most accurate one. Though you and I both had 4 picks, 2 of mine were correct number and correct team. You had the other 2 as perfects, my man. So shout out you.
What did I get?
Besides obviously us 3 all getting Mendoza, you had Jordan Tyson going 8 perfect. And you had Vega Ione going 14 perfect. You had the correct
team. A great pick, too.
That's a great pick, yes, for the Ravens as well. The sleeper pick right there. And people are saying that he's a 15-year pro, right? Maybe 20-year pro.
And he's just a good guy. There were videos that came out where, like, he helps other people. Like, you want that in your building.
You had Mansour Delane going to the correct team, not at the correct pick, like how I had Omar Cooper going to the Jets. And I had the Sonny Styles perfect. And then Jeremiah Love going 3. Not that
that was crazy. I did not expect that. I didn't even expect the Chiefs to move up to just 3 spots.
That's where Elvis said. He's like, yo, you should have put a ticket out for the 2. No, I should have put a ticket out. Jeremiah Love going to the 3 pick. That's would have been the moneymaker.
The Patriots got some offensive tackle from Utah. He's okay.
That's funny because it's literally Spencer Fano was the one they're talking all about from Utah, and then they got that guy.
The Chiefs and the Jets trade back in, and they get a defensive tackle from Clemson, the Chiefs, Peter Woods. He's a pretty good guy.
He was the number 1 high school recruit coming out of, going into college, coming out of high school. And they said there's been a precipitous drop off with his like draft projection. Like when he first came in as a freshman, he was a first rounder, top 5. Then sophomore year, it dropped more. This year, they said they had him at a second round. But you saw them trade back up into the first to get him. So maybe, just reaching the pros, maybe it was a little bit the black cloud going over down in Clemson.
I mean, outside of him, he probably was the second best defensive tackle in the draft. The kid out of Florida, who I know there were a lot of spectacles about his foot, but all the doctors cleared him and said he will be ready. Yeah. It's the kid, Caleb Banks. He went to Minnesota at 18. Yes. He was the best defensive tackle, and then it was Peter Woods. And at the end of the day, you got to think about it like this. Chris Jones is on the wrong side of 30. He's already whispered about retiring. Yes, you got to eventually look for his replacement, right?
Yeah, you got to make that move. And then they got to look also maybe a tight end too, right? I mean, just like as much as
I agree.
Retirement, so is Travis Kelce.
Jets trade back in. I told Elvis we're going to have 3 picks tonight, and we did Omar Cooper Jr. I like it. And with that, we cashed the under 5.5 wide receivers at plus 130.
Right on, my man.
Go.
I think
like Omar Cooper
receivers, bro. It's just Geno Smith get them pro ready for the quarterback they'll get in the next year's draft.
I like him. I think he's good. He primarily lines up in the slot, which is good. He could be explosive. He has a good initial burst.
Well, those 3 guys, I feel like you have a motion Sadiq out, as maybe in a tight end box, have a motion past Wilson. You have Wilson who could be primarily a slot guy, could also play the X or the Y. It's just like these guys that the Jets have now, I feel like they could move around and they could do what they want. They also have those big guys on the outside who could play in with Sadiq,
And we have
Cooper,
Brees Hall.
and Wilson. Yeah, and Brees Hall is one of the more underrated running backs in the league. You guys might have an offense that can actually move the ball, man. So
It's the defense.
it's going to come down to what we all thought the identity of the Jets for all of time would be is their defense. If they can get that straight, then you guys will be okay.
What are your thoughts on getting the second running back, the Seattle? I mean, they had to replace him, Super Bowl MVP, and then they get Price, the second running back from Notre Dame.
You've seen the tape? He's explosive. He reminds you of a Kenneth Walker III. So you just get him, and yeah, just as much Jeremiah Love has Tyler Algier to siphon him out and be his handcuff. Price is going to be with Zach Charbonnet. As much as Charbonnet runs through the tackles, Price is going to be your outside stretch of the offense. So I think it's a great tandem, and yeah, you're going to just be continuing what you already left off for Super Bowl season.
I mean, he was the second best running back on the board outside of Jeremiah.
Both Notre Dame. How crazy is that?
That's crazy. Yeah. So overall, winner of the draft. I think it's hard to argue the Cowboys and the Jets didn't have a really good draft.
You said the Cowboys did not?
No, did.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I said I like the Jets picks more than I like the Giants picks.
Oh, I would agree with that as well. Yeah.
Who's the loser of the draft or who's the winner of the draft?
Well, I said winner, and now who's the loser to you?
The Rams.
Yeah. The Rams, right?
Yeah, the Rams.
I also like what Philly got.
I also like what the Bears got with Dylan Thieneman. You guys had him going to the Cowboys. I think he's dirty white boy out there in the secondary.
Obviously, Caleb Downs is the best safety, but the kid out of Oregon, Dylan, he spells his name wrong, by the way. But he's a stud.
Yeah.
Yo, he's really good. And I know they have Thurman as one of their safeties. You pair up with him. And they also got Kobe Bryant from the Seattle Seahawks.
Yep.
Yo, watch out for the Chicago Bears secondary now.
Yeah.
No, that's a good call. I thought I like what they did. I also like, who always drafts well for some reason? The Browns. I feel
you like that. You like the.
I like Spencer Fano, and I also like the
Concepcion. That was the receiver they picked up, Casey Concepcion.
Yeah, at 24. Now, do I think he's Tate, Lemon? I even think Cooper's better than him, but the guy's tall. Tall.
Yeah, my thought is whoever trades up, I feel like they're going to have to in the second round. Whoever takes Denzel Boston is going to be an early winner for me in the second round.
Really? You like him?
Yeah, the Boston College, baby.
Yeah. All right, yeah, that was the draft. It was a really good time, and you know what I really liked? The pacing. Let's keep it moving, boys.
Yep.
All right, let's get to the NBA. Knicks down 2-1. We lost a heartbreaker, kid.
Bro, 2 games in a row. Let's be real.
Yeah, we just
can't close out.
And to be honest, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges giving us 0 points is crazy. I mean, how does that
paying him all that money for?
Like, how does that even happen? I mean, if it wasn't for OG, by the way, we cashed Karl-Anthony Towns over 20.5 points. He had 21, but yeah, it's unfortunate, man. They better win. They better win Saturday because if they don't, it's over.
It's over.
Raptors, good win at home. They
plus 130 cash.
Good job,
Iceman.
May 15th. And the Timberwolves, they blow out the Nuggets at home. They take a 2-1 lead as well. What have you seen from the T-Wolves?
As much as we were talking about the Knicks maybe not having that much, fight, will, heart, whatever you want to use to describe it, I think you're seeing that with the Nuggets outside of Jokic. Jokic wants it so bad, but he singly can't just distribute the ball and then not have these guys score for him. It's too much pressure on him, who arguably is the MVP. It's just not enough one-man show. We know basketball is all about role players and getting a team to win these games. Like I said, if it's a one-man show, Jokic, he's not going to get it done. But I don't know. I might have a little something. These guys have familiarity, both these teams with one another. And you got to mind you to Ant-Man. They won without him really being as healthy as he can. Now comes game 4 where he's kind of injured again. I might be flipping my pick where I've been hitting this series exactly. I had the Nuggets game 1, T-Wolves game 2 and 3. And maybe something, like I said, for game 4.
And let's go to the NHL because it's kind of been flip-flop in this series. Buffalo wins game 1 and 3. Boston wins game 2. They take a 2-1 lead, and then the other 2 games might be swept, but Those are the only like series that have not been competitive. Hurricanes up 3-0, and then Avalanche up 3-0.
Well, I hit the Canes plus 102, and then the Avs minus 1.5 saved me late, getting that late open net goal at plus 160. So cash those 2+ money hits. But if there's ever a time for the Senators to win, it might be this weekend.
So, kid, all right, let's get into these picks. But before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor, brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition, with only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks. So just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching the UFL, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. UFL Week 5.
I've been waiting for this day.
I fucking love it. And we will start today. Hold up. I'm so
Yeah, I got Defenders and Stallions tonight.
No, I know. I'm just getting it. All right. Yeah, Birmingham hosting the DC Defenders. DC laying 6 here, minus 280 on the money line, plus 230. For the Stallions, total is 44. It did open up at 7. Money's coming in on the Stallions. I don't know who's betting the Stallions. Joe, what do you got?
Am I seeing things? Defenders minus 5.5 right now?
Well, the book that I'm looking at, it's at 6.
Okay. I would feel comfortable laying it. As long as if it was under a touchdown, I feel more comfortable laying it to the Defenders. If it goes over a touchdown, I think you pause for a little bit just because the Stallions are at home. But I just think the Stallions have not been it, right? They have not really found their footing. And the Defenders are coming off of, they're still defending champs. They're coming off of a championship. So though they're on the road, I think Defenders have righted the ship a little bit after a hiccup or two. Let's go to Defenders minus 5.5. Like I said, if I'm getting that type of number, I'll take it at minus 110.
Where are you finding 5.5?
I saw it on ESPN.
Well, they don't have a sports book. Like, what do you mean ESPN?
On
like
their
DraftKings?
No, it's just their lines. When you go and look it up, it gives you lines and it gives you odds. The ESPN bet's gone. It went under.
Yeah, that shit's dud.
But yeah, when you check it out, like I said, lines moved to 6, but it opened up minus 5.5. So when I saw
it opened up at 8 and it's come down.
Wow, that's what it's. If I could show you, it literally says open.
No, I just want to know where you found it because I'm trying to bet that.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, yeah, absolutely. That's why. So I was like, I'll take the minus 5.5. Like I said, as long as it doesn't go past 7.5, I'll take it. Even if it's a solid 7, I'll take a push if that happens. But I think the Defenders are going to win more than a touchdown, at least with a field goal or an extra point try. So I'm comfortable, like I said, laying the 5.5. I think they're a little bit further along in the season right now than the Stallions are.
Yeah, two teams just trending in the opposite direction. DC, they've won 3 straight. Birmingham, yeah, they've dropped 3 in a row. And former reigning UFL champion and MVP Jordan Taimu, he had the best game of his season. He threw for over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the Stallions defense, they allow the 3rd most passing yards in the UFL. And the QB, speaking of QBs, that has been a problem for Birmingham this season. Is it Matt Corral? Is it DTR, Dorian Thompson Jr.? It doesn't matter who it is.
No.
They're going up against a team in DC that leads the league in sacks. They force turnovers. They're 3rd in tackles for loss. This is a crazy defense. I know they're home. I laid the 6.5 yesterday. 6, 5.5, like Joe said, shop around, but I'm very surprised it's going the opposite way. But yeah, I'm going to lay it here with DC, and that's the first game.
Yeah, I must be seeing something wrong if they're getting money late on the Stallions. I thought money would come late on the Defenders.
No, money is coming in because it opened up at 7. I got it at 6.5 under a touchdown. Now it's at 6. You're saying 5.5?
That's crazy. Something happened.
Maybe we don't know. Something's going on. We don't know. Let's go to Saturday night game. Orlando Storm, undefeated Orlando Storm, hosting the St. Louis Battlehawks. Storm laying 3 at home, minus 155 on the money line, plus 130 for the Battlehawks. Total is 45.5. How are you playing this one?
You know, I could absolutely see taking the points, but I'm gonna ride with Elvis here. You know, he's liking the Battlehawks, the St. Louis team. Obviously, they're not home where they have the home field advantage, and the Storm have been playing well. But I think sooner or later, a team's bound to slip up, especially their first year in existence. Though they're doing fantastic, this might be one where the dog is live. The Battlehawks have been playing really good and keeping teams close that could score. Storm have been able to score, but mind you, I think they've gone away with a couple of one-score games. And if they do that in this one, Battlehawks may find a way to win. So I'll take a chance with the little value you're getting at plus 140 for the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Yeah, Battlehawks, they're so inconsistent for me. Alternating wins and losses. They just dropped 20. They just lost to DC last week, 28-22. Harrison Frost, their quarterback, he struggled. He threw for 144 and an interception. And Orlando's only allowed 52 points this season. It's the fewest by a mile, with I think the second team is like 20 points above them. So
the Renegades?
Yeah, and to be honest, no, I think it's DC, their defense. But they have had a soft schedule. You know, they beat Louisville twice. They beat Columbus. They beat Birmingham. But still, you know, let's see if they're for real. We're about to see if Jake Plummer is for real. He's second in the UFL with passing and touchdowns. And against a defense like St. Louis, who's second in the UFL with 10 sacks. They're a good defense. Two good defenses. I worry. I'm going to take the under 45.5.
Nice. Good call. Stay away from either side.
Yeah. Let's go to Sunday. We got a doubleheader starting at noon between the Houston Gamblers taking on the Columbus Aviators. Aviators road favorites, -3.5, -210 on the money line, +175 for the Houston Gamblers. Total is 45.5. Kid, what do you like?
Oh, man. Maybe I should have touched the total in this one because I'm going to break my heart again by touching the Gamblers, man. The Gamblers, I don't know. I feel like I can't trust the Aviators just yet. You know, it's unfortunate, just like the Kings and the Storm coming in anew. I feel like the Aviators really haven't found their identity. And though the Gamblers have shot themselves in the foot, as long as they can stay away from turning the ball over, at home they might find a close victory. So I'll take them on the money line, keep the points, +154, but I may pay for it later.
Yeah, I'm going to take another under here. You know, honestly, this is the first of two games between these two teams between the next 2 weeks. So maybe it'll sweep, go back and forth. Like Columbus will win this week and then Houston maybe next week. But, you know, Aviators are coming off their first win in franchise. And they actually beat Dallas, you know, and that was, I think that was coming up, you know. Dallas they played 3 games in 11 days. So it was tough. Columbus loves to run the ball. 139 yards per game on the ground. That's second in the league. But they're going to be versing the third best run defense. And Houston's only giving up 85 yards on the ground. So these are the 2 worst scoring defenses in the league. So they're going to be gashed out. I think both offenses are going to struggle. Give me another under 45.5 here. I'm going to take another under.
I think they're sharp bets right there, taking totals.
And then last game, we'll head to the big old Dallas Renegades taking on the Arlington. But anyway, Louisville Kings. Renegades, they're laying 7.5 here at home, -370 on the money line, +300 for the Kings. Total is 47.5. What do you got, kid?
Yo, shout out the Kings for getting their first win of the season. And like I said, first win in franchise history. But I just think I think they're a little outmatched in this one. I think the Renegades laying the points is probably the best pick. Not sure if they'll single-handedly be able to score the over, but the Kings have played games really close to their chest, and I just feel like the Renegades are going to be able to pull away in this one. So, yeah, Renegades at home, -7.5 at -110.
Yeah, shout out them. They did win their first franchise win, and, you know, we'll see what they could do, but, you know, they should be getting, you know, wrecking the ball. Renegades, they ripped through, like I said, wrapping up a stretch of 3 games in 11 days. They looked fatigued. You could tell they looked, and they're regrouped. They're rested. They've had 9 days off between games. They have the advantage at quarterback. I think Austin Reed, he leads the league in passing yards with 907. He has 11 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. So he's good. We'll see. Dallas's O-line, they have to be game. That guy for the Kings, Cam Gill, he leads the league with 5.5 sacks. I do worry about him a little bit, but the offense is too good. I will lay the 7.5 with the Renegades.
All right, we're aligned on that one.
All right,
I'm hyped for the weekend. I think UFL is going to put on this weekend.
Oh, I love, bro. Spring football is fucking phenomenal. I love it.
That's right.
All right, let's get to basketball. But before we do that, Kalshi, real money making, predicting sports. Kalshi is available in a ton of states. And once you trade $10, you get $10 with our promo code ROCK with 2Ks24. That's Kalshi. Promo code ROCK24. All right, kid, let's get to it. We'll go over to the association. I have Elvis's plays, by the way.
Yes,
we will start. We're gonna start tomorrow because games are about to go off in like 10 minutes.
Okay. I have plays for tonight, but
I just think it does. What do you got tonight? That's fine.
I was just taking the points with Lakers and the Blazers. I probably lay it with the Celtics. That's simply that.
Yeah, Lakers money line.
You've been saying keep the points, and
bro, you don't need it. You don't need it. Let's go to the first game. We got 4 games for Saturday. Orlando Magic 1-1 going back to Orlando now against the Pistons. Pistons laying only 2.5 here on the road. -142 on the money line. Totals 213. What are we feeling here?
I think for the Pistons to win this series, they got to impose their dominance in this one. And regardless if there's question marks with some of the health concerns, I still feel like they're going to be good with J.K. Pickerstaff, right, coaching them up. And I just feel like this, first game in Orlando, the crowd's going to be jumping. But what do? You get them out of there early. You get the crowd out of it early. And I think, like I said, if a dominant scoring in the first half occurs, I think the Pistons run away with it. So I'm easily laying the -2.5 with the Pistons at -110.
Kind of like Orlando first quarter here. Money line. Get out of the gate going crazy. I'm going to take Cade Cunningham. I'm going to go back to the well with over 9.5 assists. Didn't get there the first game. Second game, 11 dimes. Yep. I think he comes out here. He dishes. He's the facilitator. And if guys make the shots, he's going to have double-digit assists.
Look for the double-double, maybe even a triple-double if he gets rebounds as well. He's a hustler on the boards.
Yeah, give me Cade Cunningham over 9.5 assists. I think it's at even money as well, so I like that. Let's go to second game. OKC and the Phoenix Suns. OKC up 2-0, looking for this sweep, but they are laying 9.5 on the road, +340 for the Suns. Total is 214.5. Joe, just don't bet the Suns again, please.
I was going to say, no, it looks like I'm going to be laying points for tomorrow evening because, I'm -9.5 on the Thunder here. I mean, that was my chance to get that +1,000 dog. If the Suns were going to win any game, it was going to be game 2 in OKC. I think the Thunder are going to be prepared to play in Phoenix. So I actually have Thunder sweeping the series, and it'll do so by winning this game -9.5 at -110.
Yeah, I'll lay the 9.5 as well. This game's not going to be close. Let's go to the Atlanta. Down 2-1. Can the Knicks survive? And they're favorites again. -1.5, -130 on the money line.
Doing that to them.
+110 for the Hawks. Total is 214. Kid, 3-1 or 2-2?
2-2. Yeah. Like I said, it was Knicks throughout. They blew game 3 where they shouldn't have. And if that game 2 didn't teach a lesson, game 3 certainly has. And like I said, if you lose game 4 here, it's over. So it's a must win in my eyes for the New York Knickerbockers. And I'll lay the points. -2.5 on -118. I actually think the Knicks need to win dominantly.
Another going back to the well with this one. Give me Karl Anthony Towns over 19.5 points at -108. Think it's great. He's averaged around 20 points per game in this postseason. I like Jalen Brunson over 26.5 points as well. They need him to go crazy. And last couple of shots he's had and to end the games, not the best.
I would actually, if you were to talk to our friends over at Props.Cash, I might go 40 over for Brunson tonight.
Maybe we'll talk about that in a little. Let's go to the last game on Saturday. Denver Nuggets try to tie it 2-2 against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and their favorite, -1.5, -122 on the money line for the Nuggets, +104 for the T-Wolves. Total is 229.5. It is the highest total for Saturday. Kid, what do you like?
Stay away from it, I think. And I've been capping this series perfectly. We've hit on every game, and I'm going back to the Denver Nuggets here on the road. I'm going Nuggets -1.5. I do think they'll right the ship. Like I said, this is a series that should go 7. They're familiar with one another. They're familiar with how they're coached, with how their schemes are going to be set up. And I just easily see this going back to Denver in the 7th game. And I got to come up with a decision there. I think that's where it's going to be the hardest. But for now, back and forth, let's go Nuggets -1.5 at -112.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Nuggets on the money line here. I agree. I think this is a good spot for them. Getting it back to 2-2, going back home now. I think this is a good spot. And I also want to take Anthony Edwards over 5.5 rebounds. He had 5. He got there over the first 2 games. Last game, he only got 5. They're going to keep putting it at 5.5. Don't get scared now just because he went there. He didn't get over the first or the third game. Yeah. Minus 115, give me over. And give me Jokic over 29.5 points as well. I think Jokic has to go crazy for them to win, to even it up at 2 apiece. Kid, and you mentioned it. Shout out Props.Cash. Elvis, Joey, and I've been using Props.Cash for years now, and it's helped us find an edge in several player prop markets on the web or in the Props.Cash app. You get quick visual data on player trends, matchup history, and recent performance across every major sport. Clean, reliable stats that make it easy to spot value. Plans start at just $19.99 a month, and right now you can get 25% off your first month with code DREAM25. That is DREAM25. So download the app, not now, but right now. Sign up with the monthly subscription. Use code DREAM25, and you'll be paying just $14.99 your first month. Level up your prop research today at Props.Cash. All right, kid, let's get to the ice. We got some good games here. Like I said, do you want to say anything for tonight real quick?
Hockey wise,
yeah.
This is a series I've not been getting correctly, but I'm going to the road team, the Lightning and the Habs. I'm going to pick the Lightning. Habs I've been playing though. Don't get me wrong. They have pedigree. Most championships outside the Yankees, I believe, all time. Right? Is that correct?
Habs have the most, actually.
Yeah. There you go. The most championships in North American history of all time. So it might be rowdy over in that barn, but I'm going Lightning. Mammoth. I've been riding the Mammoth. I know I slipped up once, but going back to the well with the Mammoth, and then actually
over.
I'm going to take the Ducks, and yeah, maybe lean the over because there's going to be goals scored in that one. Plus 114 for the Ducks at home.
There was a prop I was looking at for this Edmonton-Anaheim game tonight. Both teams to score 3, I think, is at like plus 130, plus 140.
Oh.
Yeah. They're both going to be scoring. There's no defense is optional for these teams.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Saturday. 3 games here on the docket for Saturday. Do we see a sweep in the capital of Canada? Carolina minus 128 here on the road, plus 106 for the Senators. Total is 5.5.
As much as I would like to see it for my buddy Corey, I still have the Canes as a deep-seated rival to our Devils. And this is the one game that the Senators will give it their all and try to win one on their home ice. So I'm going Senators home win plus 105. I think this is their only chance to get a win.
Yeah, I'm going to get the broom out in a minute. We're going sweet minus 120. Yeah, I'm taking the crazy Caniacs.
The Caniacs.
Let's go up north. We'll head up to Minnesota where the Wild are taking on the Dallas Stars. Wild minus 135 on the money line, plus 115 for the Stars. Total 5.5.
I'm still, I've been shy away from the totals. You've been capping the totals really good, but I have actually got a hold of this series. I think I've hit on every single one as well. And I'm going to hope that maybe an away team can win in this one here, and hoping that maybe we get a little closer to your ticket cashing. I'm going to take the Stars as a dog on the road, plus 114, but the Wild, man, is going to be very, very close.
Yeah, give me the Wild here. Minus 135.
It's good to hedge. It's good to hedge.
They gotta win. No, my ticket's on the Wild.
I thought you had the Stars.
No, I'm on the Wild.
Oh,
yeah. I'm riding them.
But it's 2-1 Wild right now.
No, it's 2-1 Dallas.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. So damn.
Yep, it's not looking good for my ticket. That's why
I really thought you had the Stars. That's why.
Minnesota.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, I'm with the Dallas Stars. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I get it. They're a wagon.
Yeah.
Last game battle. Can we see a sweep? Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. Flyers laying minus 1.5, minus 118 on the money line, minus 102 for the Penguins. Total 5.5.
Philly just absolutely dunking on Pittsburgh these last couple of days, trading up Howie Roseman to steal Makai Lemon from the dang Pittsburgh Steelers. I heard that was out in the works. And then you got the Flyers sweeping the Penguins and sending the kid home. Go on vacation, kid. Flyers minus 120. Sweep.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to sweep them too, unfortunately. I think
home ice? Oh, yeah, it's going to be rowdy.
Yeah, fucking dirty ass Flyers.
I know. There's some Flyers and the Canes that we don't get along with, but we make money when we can.
Yeah, that's the name of the game, right, kid? All right, let's get into some baseball. What do we got here for Saturday? We got pretty good matchup, I think, in Boston and Baltimore. You got Crochet going with Trevor Rogers, Brandon Wu versus Matthew Liberatore for Seattle and St. Louis. That's a pretty good matchup. What are we feeling here? What do you like?
It's funny. I know you have a play for Elvis for tomorrow. Real quick, you've been asking me about my games tonight. Yo, you're not going to like to hear this. Give me the Mets -1.5 at +109 against the Rockies. All right. And for tomorrow, MLB World Tours in Mexico City. The Mexico City series consists of the San Diego Padres and the Arizona Diamondbacks, and I think it's going to be exactly what they're anticipating, a high-scoring affair. The over-under is 15.5, and I'm going over. This is a number to shy you guys away, but mind you, they are double the height of a mile high. Denver is. They're in Mexico City. The ball is absolutely going to fly off these bats, regardless if Zach Gallen's pitching, regardless if German Marquez is pitching. I think those guys are going to be out of there in maybe 3 or 4 innings, honestly. So if they're not in there and we go to the bullpens, I actually expect a high-scoring affair. This line is to scare you. Give me the over 15.5 at -106.
I love that. I love that. Elevation. It should be fun. We should see a lot of runs. I know Boston's not playing well right now, but Garrett Crochet at plus money is crazy to me.
He's been struggling, but he's still an ace. Like he's still one of the top 5 pitchers in the AL. Yeah.
So I'm going to take Boston here as well. I like Kevin Gausman, I really do, but I just can't back Toronto in this spot. I'm not a fan of I'm just not a fan of their offense. They're dealing with a lot of injuries, so I probably would lay away from that. Yuri Perez taking on Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray at home has been fucking good, and I think getting a -120, -125, I think that's a very fair number for the Giants at home. Giants are a team you want to back at home, so
they can't win on the road, but they can sure get out there in Oracle.
Kind of like Shane McClanahan as well here in Tampa Bay, -130 against the Twins. I think that's a fair number as well.
What time is that? We don't want to touch our NL East rivals, but what time is that Phillies Braves game at tomorrow?
Tomorrow it's 7:15.
As much as we need the Phillies to actually win against the division-leading Braves, I actually think the Braves are playing pretty hot right now. Mind you, I said Walt Weiss, whatever, for manager of the year in a close second to terrible pick that I had with Carlos Melendez. But yeah, Braves -126 tomorrow. I just think they're gonna be pulling ahead, trying to get away from them last year. Right, they were dead last, weren't they, last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now they're in first place and pulling away.
Oh, I don't know if they were dead last. No, the Nationals were. They were probably like third or fourth.
But they were hurt and they were bad, and then you get everyone healthy, and then you get a good manager, and look what happens. I mean,
you mentioned the Mexican series. Elvis has the Padres on the money line.
Not bad.
I'm going to take Arizona here on the money line. Zach Allen is a beast.
All right, so we got you guys covered, each side and a total.
Exactly. You got the Buccos with Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller has been really good as well, and I don't know. I think there's not a lot of things separating these two teams with the Pirates and the Brewers. I think they're very similar offensively, bullpen, pitching. I liked Pittsburgh a lot this year for whatever reason.
I get O'Neal Cruz to center field.
Yeah, right. Don't want to back the Royals at all. Their Cole Reagans is terrible. I probably would.
They're competing with us. We're the worst team in Major Leagues.
Or the Phillies right now.
Yeah, true that.
Phillies
They're on a 9-game loss streak, right?
Yeah, they almost caught.
Because all the attention's on us. They could care less about how bad all these other teams. It's all about the Mets, right?
Kind of like the Tigers as well, with Jack Flaherty on the mound against Brady Singer. Brady Singer, I liked him back last year. He's struggled this year. So -110, I think, is a very fair price. Cubs, they've been red hot. Colin Ray on the mound taking on Roki Sasaki, who hasn't been the best.
But they're bound to get
the Dodgers. It's the Dodgers. And then the last game you mentioned, the Phillies and the Braves with Zach Wheeler and Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder has been fucking nails.
Yeah. That's what I say. You look at the name, you don't really think Wheeler's going to blow up. No, Elder.
No, give me the Braves.
Yep.
Yeah, give me the Braves. All right, kid, that's going to do it. UFL, NBA, NHL, MLB. What else? What do you got for me?
Oh, maybe, Coastal plays tonight. We always like to touch a little NCAA baseball. I still think ranked in the top 10. A lot of good baseball being played around the world, not just in the pro level, college. And I think the boys also are our boys getting ready to play some baseball. The Cardinals, Garfield Cardinals,
Who?
getting ready to roll, my boy. So we're going to get some wins. I'll see you out on the pitch. I'll see you on the diamond, my boy.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying. All right, kid. Well, good luck. I appreciate you. Good luck on your bets. Enjoy the weekend. It should be a lot of fun. We got a lot going on. We also got fights, so make sure you go on over to check on AKP. We just released our newest episode, UFC Vegas 116 as well. So enjoy the weekend. What?
And check out the interview with Donovan Wisa from me.
Yes. It's on Joey's Twitter. Go and check that out. Until then, take care of yourself. We'll be back on Sunday with more picks and previews. But until then, take care of yourself and each other. Peace.